Hello there, welcome to the Krossroads Commerce OS YouTube channel. In this video, you will learn how to set up and configure a cloud receipt printer for Krossroads Commerce OS. The first step when setting up a cloud printer is to connect the cloud printer to the internet. To connect the cloud printer to the internet, connect one end of an Ethernet cable to the LAN port of the cloud printer, and then connect the other end of the cable to a network router. If you will be using a cash drawer, in conjunction with your receipt printer, go ahead and connect the cash drawer to the receipt printer as shown here. With the cloud printer hardware now ready, the next step will be to update the settings on the cloud printer to enable the cloud print capability. The first step in this process is to access the current network configuration of the cloud printer. This is done by using the self-printing feature of the printer, which prints out the printer's current configuration. For this recording, we will use the Star Micronics MC Print 3 receipt printer as an example. Depending on the model of the cloud printer you are using, the process of triggering a self-print might be slightly different. Please consult your printer documentation for your specific model to see how to trigger a self-print. A self-print is also known as a diagnostics print. To trigger the self-print, first turn the printer off by holding down the power button until the printer turns off. With the printer now off, hold down the feed button, then simultaneously press the power button. Release the power button when the printer comes on, but keep holding down the feed button until the printer starts to print out the self-print output. Once the printing starts, you can then release the feed button. The printer will first print out the general printer settings, then a moment later, the network configuration for the printer will be printed. From the network configuration printout, take note of the indicated IP address and MAC address. Both of these values will be required in subsequent configuration steps. In the next step, the printer configuration will be updated to enable the cloud print capability of the printer. This step is performed using the settings screen of the printer, which is accessed using the IP address that was retrieved in the previous step. Using a computer that is connected to the same local network as the receipt printer, open a web browser such as Google Chrome or Safari, and then in the browser URL field, type in the IP address of the receipt printer, as shown in this example. To access the printer settings, you will be prompted to enter the login credentials for the printer settings screen. The default credentials are indicated in your printer documentation. In the case of the MC Print 3 receipt printer, the default username is root, and the default password is public. After you have logged in successfully, locate and click on the Cloud Print option, which appears under the Network Configuration section of the Settings menu. Within the Cloud Print settings, first set the status of the Cloud Print service to Enabled. Next, set the polling time to 3 seconds. The final setting that needs to be configured is the server URL, which is retrieved from the Commerce OS app as follows. In Krossroads Commerce OS, navigate to the receipt printer screen. Select the Cloud Printer option. Proceed to enter a display name that will be used to identify the printer and then enter the printer MAC address that was previously shown in the network configuration printout. Click on the Save button to register the printer with Krossroads Commerce OS. After the printer has been registered, the screen will display the cloud printer server URL, which then needs to be entered in the settings screen of the printer. Using the previously opened browser page, proceed to enter the server URL into the settings screen, as shown in this example. To finalize the setup, proceed to save the new settings for the printer. Saving the settings will also restart the printer. Note that the process of restarting the printer might take a couple of seconds to complete. After the printer has restarted, you can click on the Print Test button in the Krossroads Commerce OS to confirm that the printer is able to receive and process print commands. Finally, you can indicate whether you want to have receipts printed automatically after each transaction by enabling the Print Receipt Automatically option. Likewise, you can enable the Open Cash Drawer Automatically option to have the cash drawer open automatically whenever a receipt is printed. This only applies if you have a cash drawer connected to the receipt printer. Once you have successfully configured a cloud printer, You can later return to the receipt printer settings to update the print options for the printer, or to disconnect the printer from the terminal. Also note that once you have successfully configured a cloud printer, all other terminals at the same location can use the already configured cloud printer. In this case, when setting up subsequent terminals, you will be able to select the already configured cloud printer, as shown in this example. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.